Kagan.
Hi, what's good?
Hey, I'm good. Good to see you.
I've been in here since the beginning.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
My apologies. My apologies.
No,
Yeah,
it's fine.
that's a good thing. Good to connect with you. I love
Same,
the chair
same.
behind, by the way.
Oh,
It's like
hello.
it's
That's
a
it's
it's a
a
yeah.
it's a workroom slash my gaming room. So
Oh my
yeah.
goodness. You came prepared, guns blazing, no cap. All right, cool. Cool. Good to have you here. And since you're here, I think we should just go ahead and begin. Guys, thanks for joining. Kagan has done an amazing job. You know, we've joined both communities, our little community, Kagan's community. We have a laptop to give, but it's not free, obviously. There's lots of T's and C's. Clearly, part of it is that you'll be successful in the career that you choose
Of
in
course.
tech. All right, so those responsibilities are there. But let me say welcome again, everyone, to this. And for those of us who are joining us for the very first time, welcome to this small community of people who love tech, who talk tech, and just want to do a lot of things with tech. All right, there's beauty in this community. I'll introduce myself. A lot of people know me already, but I mean, my name is Emmanuel Asika. Most people call me Manny. During my day job, I say this all the time. Some people should be bored hearing it now, but during my day job, I'm the country manager for HP Nigeria. And in the evenings, when I'm not doing that, I'm hanging out with people like you guys talking about tech, talking with some of the industry leaders and the tech influencers, so that we can obviously inform, educate, entertain, but put our money where our mouth is and actually empower people to begin their journey in tech. So yes, we're going to definitely get one or two winners, actually two winners. That's the promise that we had with Kagan. We're going to get two winners, get a Core i3 laptop, which basically now is an entry-level laptop. Forget Celeron and Pentium nowadays, because that can't do anything for you.
Right.
So you're going to get two laptops out, but I want to talk to you guys about the winning criteria. Hopefully, most of you guys went on the page, filled the forms. We're going to get the top entries, and then they're going to have the opportunities to pitch.
Right.
But also, you need to engage, you need to be present, you need to participate, and then hopefully you can pitch. Now, just to say this up front, a disclaimer, it's not Manny who's going to be choosing the top two, so please don't fill my timeline. Go to Kagan's timeline. he's the one who's going to be choosing it. I have nothing to do with this, right? So it's Kagan. So if there's any person you need to impress right now, it's Mr. Gadget himself. All right, so let me tell you three things that we try to do in this session. All right, we try to, I mean, digital literacy is at the core of everything that we do. There are 3 Ds of digital literacy, which is data, devices, and digital literacy. So on this session, every time we have the MannyVille series, we'll always give devices, because I mean, we're tired of doing pop psychology and preaching to people. We want to start one device at a time. If people don't have devices, they really will not be able to do digital literacy. And then we talk digital literacy, obviously, which is what we're going to have. And then finally, we also give data. So about 5 people will also go home with 1 month worth of data here. So participate. There's a lot of things to win here. You know, because of the Nigerian situation, I was talking about the national anthem and the fact that our boys were playing the match, and a lot of them didn't know how to sing the national anthem. We have lots of challenges in Nigeria. There are many ways to react to this. One of it is to complain and talk about how things are bad, you know, and stuff like that. And to be fair, if that's what you choose to do, it's fine, because I believe that when you talk about things, you converse about it, you raise the level of awareness, and that also has its own place. Another thing you could do is jackpot if you have the funds, and that's happening a lot lately. Even though now you can actually reach a global audience from anywhere you are in the world, right? So I'll talk about a thing I learned about Kagan today, but I'll let him lead that charge later, and it's still blowing my mind, by the way. But another thing you can do is actually, you know, try to make a change, and that's just what we preach here. We would rather light a candle than curse the night. Simple. I mean, it's nothing big or major. It's nothing too strategic or it's just simple. We just try to do the best that we can with the little that we have. All right. So by our stats so far, we love a lot of statistics as well. We've given out 14 laptops in 8 episodes, just 8 series. Today will be the 9th, and would have given out 16 by the time we're done this month. Again, it's not just laptops that we're giving out, right? So we're going to also, to boot with digital literacy, we'll place a demand on you to learn, to develop yourself, to grow, and to be the best at what you you hopefully can be. And then in terms of data, we've given over 2 years worth of data to a lot of people here. So there's a lot to learn, a lot to get, participate, burn up the texts button, go to where you can ask questions because I can't do it all alone. And, rarely do we have great people like this all the time. So when we do, we like to, to milk as much as we can from them. Just to summarize, you're going to get 2 laptops, 5 months worth of data, 5 people. Now it's one month per person. It's not 5 months for one person. let's just be clear, right? All right, and then you're going to be inducted into a community of like-minded people so that we can learn tech and grow in tech. And obviously, engagement is really the greatest, criteria for us here. Now, let me tell you something about the Gen Zs. I love the Gen Zs. I've been going through all the slangs, the Riz, the dang, no cap, everythh. I love Gen Zs.
You said no cap.
I said no cap. Yes, I have been. Yeah. Fam, bro. All right, cool. So I'm learning the slangs every day, and I leave you to guess how old I am. That's something for another day. But 95% of all Gen Zs have smartphones. That's the data. I mean, and I don't want to argue with it, but the fact is that you're the most connected generation ever.
Yes.
And then we'll explore a little bit of the myths around Gen Zs. We talk about how gaming is shaping the trends as well. And really, gaming goes beyond Gen Z. I mean, I've been doing Sega Mega Drive, Game Boy, Super NES, Super Nintendo, even before. And then it's maybe even a male thing, but I love women gamers as well. So we'll talk about all of that in the conversation. Nothing is rehearsed. I mean, at the end of the day, we just want to have a conversation and have fun. And I'll poke Kagan a bit more as well and see how he responds. I've seen some of the amazing content he's been creating lately. I'm looking forward to talking about that. Now, let me talk about Kagan. I'm going to read his profile. I don't know how much Kagan likes to be a narcissist, but I'll find out now.
I don't at all.
Okay, so
we could just keep that part.
Close your ears. Close your ears. Kagan is the #1 tech content creator in Nigeria, and you can argue with your keyboards, guys. I mean, that's what we believe as well. He is a visionary, creative professional who is known for his expertise in color theory. That's new. I like him to talk about that as well. And digital image technology. Kagan has garnered widespread recognition through his engaging technology reviews, tips, and updates on social media, something that all of us need to learn. He started his journey in the tech industry back in 2011. That makes it how many years now? Almost 15, 16 years? Now he has over a decade of experience doing what he loves. Doing what you love and making money. Okay, cool. His diverse skill set encompasses web design, social media management, crypto trading. Kagan, this is a big conversation with my team earlier today. Crypto trading, right? Maybe you give us a word or two about that so that, because there's a lot of people who say, because they follow you, all right? So I want to use the laptop to do crypto. And I'm thinking, I'm sure the government is not going to come after you, but okay, so. All right, cool, not yet, Kagan. You get the time to talk about that. And an array of captivating endeavors. The adage, jack of all trades is the master of none, but oftentimes better than a master of one works best here for Kagan because he does a lot. When he's not delighting his loyal followers, who he affectionately refers to as his best friends, Kagan dedicates himself to personal fitness. So I think we share that in common and continually expanding his knowledge base. He's a self-proclaimed food enthusiast. He enjoys savoring delectable culinary creations while sharing his passion for leveraging technology to optimize daily life experiences with the world. So we're keeping it very short. I mean, there's a long list, Kagan, so I'll spare you, all right? It's the problem you have when you are very accomplished. Sorry.
Thank you.
Something you have to cope with, all right? So cool. So it's a pleasure having you here, Kagan. Thank you for honoring our invitation and joining us.
Thank you for having me too.
Okay, cool. He does look fit. Kagan, this guy's already best friending you. All right. Cool. Kagan is so much. Kagan, so we're going to induct you into this series. The first question we asked, and I got a dose of that early today when we had our conversation, is tell us something people do not know about you. Now,
okay, you've given me expo. No, you've kind of already told me what to tell them. So
No.
I'll just do it. A lot of
Okay.
people, think I'm a Lagosian. They think everyone who creates content who is popular like this on the internet live in Lagos for some reason.
Mm.
I don't know why, but I don't like Lagos. Okay, I will
Be,
not live
be
in
careful.
Lagos.
Be
It's
careful. Be careful.
no, no, no.
Be
It's just
careful.
the truth. See, we're all different
Yeah.
individuals, right? The things we like
Yeah.
and the
Yeah.
things we don't like.
Yeah.
I just don't like the idea of what Lagos stands for, so I would just never live there, right? It doesn't affect my work because, like you already know, this is the most connected generation. I could be in the Kazakhstan, I could be in Venezuela, and I could be making videos for Nigerians online. As long as I have access to the internet and a smartphone, I
Mhm.
can reach them, right? So this is one thing so many people don't know about me, that they just, when they find out, they're so surprised, like, oh, I thought you were in Lagos or Abuja or out of the country or something like that. And I'm just like, nope, I
Mhm.
don't live in Lagos. Will never live in Lagos. I don't like Lagos. I'm somewhere very far away from Lagos for the sake of my own peace of mind.
Uh-huh. That's
Okay.
interesting. You want to, I mean, so when you say I don't live in Lagos, so let me be honest. When I heard you don't live in Lagos, the first thing that came to my mind is, oh, he's connecting out of the UK. Oh my God, that's so bougie. That's so bougie.
Nah.
Oh wow, yeah.
So I'm also one of those people who wouldn't leave Nigeria either.
Are you
It's weird,
serious?
but like, yeah, I
Yeah.
don't believe in Japa. I don't like the idea of it. If anything, I'm a reverse Japa. So yeah,
Okay, so Japa
but
is very popular.
reverse.
Is very popular amongst the Gen Zs, right?
Yes, it is.
Absolutely. So you're touching a raw nerve there. You want to talk to us about that? I mean, people
Well,
say
no.
it's easy for you to say you are
So
you
it's
are
no,
you
no,
are
no, no.
you're
It's
connected.
not touching a raw nerve. I think
Yeah.
I
Uh,
think for and oddly enough, I would argue that it's not even the Gen Zs that are Jackpine. It's
okay.
slightly
Okay.
older people. I think it's the
Okay.
millennials that are
Mm,
mostly Jackpine, carrying
mm,
their families and running away or whatever. But
mm.
I also feel like it's a very specific set or type of people that are Jackpine. People in the banking industry, medical industry, law
Yeah. Okay.
accounting, those types of traditional
Uh-huh.
jobs are the ones that are mostly jackpine because those jobs are not making those types of numbers that they need to stay here anymore,
Okay.
right? I have this conversation with people all the time. How many doctors can afford to pay for an apartment in Lekki on a doctor's salary in Nigeria? You can't. It's beyond you. But we have
Mm,
content creators who do it rather easily,
mm.
right? You have gamers who do it rather easily because the world has changed. The direction the world is going is changing. So there are way more lucrative jobs to be doing that are in technology now
Okay.
than
Okay.
back then. Like a
Mm.
lot of jobs that exist now didn't exist during the times of our parents, during the times when we were going
Absolutely.
to school.
Mm,
Yeah, they didn't exist. So that if you still have that mindset of you need to be a
mm,
doctor, a lawyer, an engineer before you can do well now, I'm so sorry. The world has left you behind. And you're probably going to end up trying to figure out a way to pack your money together, pack your family, and then japa, right?
mm,
So
true.
it's a perspective thing. It's a thing that old people think that is okay, right? The young people are not thinking like that anymore. We're here.
Mm,
We're building the country. I mean, I'm not going to lie and say I'm Gen Z. I joke around it a lot.
mm-hmm,
But
mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
obviously, I'm not Gen Z. But then I'm still very young. Like I'm one of those people who are like
In
old
between.
enough to have
Uh,
bought Coke at 5 naira, but then also still so young that I connect on the internet level with everybody.
mm,
So yeah,
that's great. So clearly, I mean, maybe I got that wrong because someone has also spoken for the Gen Zs. He says Gen Zs are not jack buying.
we are
Okay, so
not.
guys, I agree.
We are really not. We're
Man,
not.
and that's important because this is like the digital generation, right? So they know
Yes.
firsthand because they grew up with they're digital natives, like we like to say. So
Yes.
there are no barriers, no borders, and
Yes.
all that. Okay, so that's
The Gen
great.
Zs
So,
know how to use their smartphones to make
mm-hmm,
money
mm-hmm,
and
mm-hmm,
then,
mm-hmm,
be able to afford to stay here and live a good life. I think
mm-hmm.
the crypto thing that you mentioned previously, it's mostly the Gen Zs the government is attacking. I don't know
Mm.
why they don't want us to be successful in life. They want all of us to be earning minimum wage and just be okay with 30,000 naira a month. I don't know why that's
62,
supposed
60,
to be okay.
62,000 now, by the way.
It's not. The governors came out and said they're not doing that, that it's not
Yeah,
sustainable.
it's not
So,
sustainable.
like,
Yeah.
is that what we are going to be? How many people that are in this life can survive on 60,000 naira a month?
Mm,
The
mm,
data that
mm.
they are using, the phone in their hands that they are using to watch us right now, is it not more than 62,000 naira? Some
Absolutely. And
62,000
what
naira
that,
phones may not even be able to connect to this live.
absolutely.
That cannot
Absolutely.
be the life that the Gen Z is living. And I trust my people. Obviously, we're working hard, right? We're making our own money
Mm.
and we're making sure that Nigeria is not happening to us.
Yeah, you see what I'm doing right now, right? I learned that, by the way. So cool. Okay, so guys, taking it back because I mean I'm seeing lots of misconceptions here. One says you're in Canada, another one says you're in Ibadan or Osun State. I mean these things are flying all over
I
the place.
just I
If for
just I
if
just
for
saw a question here that says, Kagan, why have you not reviewed your swimming pool? What? What? I don't understand.
All right, cool. Those are the Gen Z speaking, right? All right, so they're crazy. All right, so if for security reasons you don't want to tell us where
Oh
you are,
no, no,
that's
no.
fine. But
I'm totally happy and fine to say where I live because
okay,
it's actually helpful
someone
because
says,
there was a thought process
oh, that's okay.
behind deciding where I live, right? I
Uh,
stay in Akure, Ondo State.
Ondo
Ondo
State.
State is like 4 states from Lagos. It's also in the southwest. But the
Mm-hmm.
decision behind me choosing to live in Akure instead of Lagos is, first of all, Accra is the only southwestern state that has an airport that functions every day. So if I need access to Lagos and Abuja, I can be there on that day, right? There's
Mm-hmm.
flights going to and from every single day, right? I couldn't get that in Ibadan, so I couldn't live in Ibadan. I
Sorry.
couldn't get that in Ekiti. I couldn't get that in Ife, but Akure had that. It was like a freight airport at first, and then gradually it became like commercial. People make jokes about that airport because it's quite small, and then it's mostly outdoorsy. And then they're like, "Oh, is this what Akure is trying to do? An outdoor airport?" It's all funny jokes, but at least it functions, unlike most other places. So that gives me peace of mind that I know that, okay, if HP, for example, needs me in Lagos tomorrow, I
Absolutely.
can be there without
Mm-hmm.
stress, and it's a 20-minute flight.
I mean
That's
the
the
one
best
that
part.
blew my mind. 20 minutes. Yeah.
Yes. So
I mean,
yeah,
you don't.
somebody said Akure is supposed cheap, chill past Lagos. So here's the thing: Akure has fresh air, unlike Lagos. Akure has empty roads because there's no traffic. In fact,
Mm.
the most you would ever spend in traffic here for any reason whatsoever, there's a little traffic. It's probably 5 minutes. I can
Oh
go to
wow.
the mall and be back home in 15 minutes if I want. In the
Mm.
middle of that, I would touch other places. I can drive the entire length of the city and be back in
Mm.
30 minutes.
Oh wow.
I dare
Oh wow.
you to try that in Lagos. That is on a busy afternoon at 4 p.m., by the way. I
Oh
dare you to
wow.
try that in Lagos.
All
Six
right.
hours, you're not back home, and then you start regretting your life. One of the reasons why I just simply cannot live in Lagos, to be honest.
Mm. In a sense, that's also Gen Z, right? Because mental health is important, right?
Extremely important. I have tried to
Yeah.
live in Lagos. I made it maybe 5 or 6 months, and then I needed almost a 1 year holiday
Mm.
from the mental strain of being a
Yeah.
Lagosian. The waking up at
Absolutely.
3 a.m. to go to work, coming back in, getting back at 9, then doing it again and going back to work by 3 so you can get there by nah. I mean, it doesn't have to be a career, right? I'm not saying everybody should move here. Please,
Yeah.
I don't want you to people to.
Sure.
I like this place. Let's keep it like this. We don't want to turn it to the next Lagos. I'm just saying, generally, if you can connect, if whatever work you're doing doesn't require you to be physically in Lagos, or if there's a way
Mm.
for you to not be physically in Lagos and you can actually connect with your audience some other ways, like on the internet, please move out. Find a cheaper place, find a more peaceful place, find a place that has clean water and peace of mind, and go stay there.
Yeah, that's really important. I mean, obviously, you need to also find a job, hopefully that is
Yeah,
not so local, that
yeah.
can also keep
And
you
the
body and
beauty
soul
is these
together.
days there's hardly any jobs, right? I mean,
Mm.
the jobs available cannot cater to the number of graduates that are constantly graduating. Most people are creative
Word.
professionals, photographer,
Mm-hmm.
they are these. Most people have, even people who have 9 to 5s have other things that they're doing on the side. So if you spend some of your time building those things on the side and eventually it becomes something that can stand on its own 2 feet,
Mm-hmm.
it makes sense for you to move out of Lagos. Just leave, please,
Mm-hmm.
so that you can have
Yeah.
lifespan beyond 45. I beg you.
What's the average life expectancy in Nigeria now? I think it's about 50 something now.
It would be worth
Uh,
for Lagos, whatever
uh,
the number
for
is,
Lagos, yes,
minus
Lagos is.
another 10 to 15 years for Lagos people,
Yeah,
because there's no peace of mind in Lagos.
someone is saying that you're doing a solid PR for
I'm,
Accra. I'm sure the governor
I'm
would
really
love.
not, to be
Yeah,
honest. I don't. So a lot of people don't know that I'm in Accra, right? I
yeah. But
think even the government only just found out that I was here, right? So
okay,
I have no reason to be giving them PR. I just do my
okay,
thing, contribute what I can, I pay my taxes, and I mind my business.
and yeah, make your money in the process, which is a good thing, and that sounds very, very, very Gen Z. Okay, so I mean, it's so good thing, guys. You've learned one thing about Kagan, so don't say we've not done anything for you here. At least you know that he doesn't stay in Lagos, and ideally, it's a smart decision. You save your money, you're still effective, you still have peace of mind, you're still healthy, and all around, it's a win-win
Yes, it
for you.
is.
All right, so great point. Kagan, there's also another question, also an important question, especially for the audience.
Okay.
It's what's your tech story, and I'll tell you the background behind it.
Wow.
So a lot of people would see, Kagan, he's blown up on the internet, he's very popular, he's doing lots of great stuff, and then a lot of people then romanticize the idea of being you and doing
Becoming
what
a
you do.
tech content creator or something.
Yeah, and they don't know the story. All right, they don't know the
Ah.
real story. All right, and that's the one I want you to summarize for them. So tell
Okay.
us
I'm going
your
to
own tech
summarize it
story.
as quickly as I can.
Okay,
Because
cool.
the story is not as glamorous as you think. A lot of people
Okay.
who are here probably only knew Kagan after 2022 or 2022 till now is when you knew. But here's the thing: this is a brand I have been building for more than 7 years, more than 8 years even, right?
Mm,
I started my first video that I ever made was January 1st, 2017. I remember I spent all of Christmas learning how to do the video and then
mm,
into the New Year's and I posted on the first day of the year. From 2017, I worked on YouTube. On most weeks, I was posting a tech video every single day, right?
mm,
Long form content, not even this easier short form Instagram videos. And for 7 years, nobody knew who I was,
mm,
right? I would post a video that was huge research, took huge time, took my entire day. I'd get 100 views. And
mm,
then tomorrow I'd wake up and I'll do it again and again and again and again. Some people here know me from way back then, right? I have a tribe of people who like they've been with me for a very long time. So those people know, like they know. But then everybody else is just like, oh, okay, they don't really know like how hard it was and all that stuff.
mm.
But then I think in 2022, I decided I was going to quit YouTube. This is when I started taking my physical fitness very seriously. I lost
Okay.
about 45 kg,
Oh wow.
right? Because I was really fat. So I lost around 45 kg, came back and I wanted to try something else. So so I downloaded TikTok for the first time in I
Mm,
think March or April of 2022. And then I was watching TikTok, and it was mostly Gen Z buddies and Gen Z guys doing comedy, and then girls dancing and things like that. There was no real tech content, at least not on the Nigerian side. There was no real tech content there, right? And then it
mm,
also happened that at that time, I had a group of people who wanted to do like a challenge and say, okay, post a video on the internet every single day. It doesn't matter where you post it, just make sure you
mm,
post, right?
mm,
So I
mm,
joined the challenge. I'm also doing the TikTok thing the same way the Gen Zs are doing it, right? I'm trying to do trending sounds and dance sometimes and all that, but I'm not really making a difference at this point, right? It's the same thing they're used to. So why should they care about me? So I'm thinking, okay, how can I try and do something differently? So instead of just dancing along with them and doing trending topics and doing sound effects and all these things, I'm saying, okay, let me try and sit behind the camera and educate, right? Let me just take an iPhone, do iPhone tips. Let me take an Android phone, do Android
mm,
tips. But then do
mm,
it in a Nigerian way that's sensational with the memes and the Sabinus and all that. That's not something anyone had done before, right?
mm,
So I'm like,
mm.
let me do that. I did it the first time, kind of took off with like was it an MTN router? Did like 1 million views.
Wow.
I'm like, okay, they like this stuff.
Oh wow.
So I just keep doing back to back, back to back. Next video, 6 million. Next video, seven
Oh
million.
my
Before
word.
I know it, I went from like 20 followers on TikTok to like 100,000 in the first week.
Hmm.
And then
Hmm.
in like 3 weeks, 200,000. Like it was crazy like that. So I had so much knowledge from all those years that I've been sharing on YouTube that nobody watched. So
And
this
content.
was ripe ground. Yes, this was ripe ground to bring all that knowledge. Like a lot of my friends were so happy. They were like, finally you found your tribe, right?
Finally,
And
finally.
I think it was Salem King who said that
Ah,
I'm so happy you didn't blow up all this time. I'm
hmm.
so happy it's happening now because you've had so many years to prepare for this
Yeah,
moment. So now I
yeah,
just had
yeah,
all the content, I had all the knowledge, I had
yeah.
everything to share. I
Mm,
made playlists teaching people how to edit their audio, do sound engineering, taught people about lighting their videos, using their cameras, microphones, everything. It was like the
mm.
content was endless. And before I knew it, biggest tech content creator on TikTok, to the point where
Mm.
we started an entire movement that people got tired. Every day there was a new guy with a table and a microphone tied to it trying to create content saying, "Come closer." It was crazy. I was like, so is this how it happens for people? Right? And then
uh,
so many people thought I was new to the game, blah, 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 blah.
yeah, yeah,
They didn't
yeah.
understand the
Mm,
struggle, bro.
mm,
It was a long time
bro,
coming.
I
But
can
I'm
imagine.
so happy that it happened because since that day till now, we've not stopped for a day.
Mm, mm,
We've,
mm.
yeah, yeah,
That's a
we've just been doing it, man.
that's a great point, and I think you should talk to the guys because our audience very diverse, also very young. I was looking at the demographics of the people who come and the people who've been interacting with us. It's largely Gen Z baddies, right? And it's important you talk to them and to us about that process, right, Keegan? Um, I mean, someone used to say to me a long time ago, you don't make a first class by accident.
Yes,
There's some work that goes into it, and it takes time, and
yes.
some people want to give up very early. There are times like that for you, right? I mean, in the entire 7 years, right?
So I think from time immemorial, I've always been a very stubborn person.
Okay.
I do not like once I put my mind to something, I don't care if it's not working out. I will find a way to make it work. Could take 100 years.
Mm-hmm.
You will still find me doing hello guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. If that is what I have chosen to do. Right. So unlike most people, I don't see setback as, oh, okay, maybe this is not for me. I see it as there's
Mm-hmm.
something I don't know. There's some information I need to find. There's something new I need to learn. There's something I'm missing. So until I find that thing, then I'm extremely consistent, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's harder for a lot of other people, but it's very easy for me to decide I'm posting 3 videos a day for the next 10 years and I'm never going to take a day off. Let's come rain, come shine. Let the world be ending, right?
Mm-hmm.
Let Nigeria descend into civil war. 7 a.m. Kagan's video will still go live. That's just the kind of person I am. So stubborn and I am so rugged. So that's just the kind of person that I am.
Chibuzo, can you hear that,
Yeah,
right?
you have to be consistent. There's no success with anything if you cannot stick with it and be super consistent.
Yeah. And that's great. So consistency, stubbornness, actually, I suppose. We always look at some of these traits as pointers to how people succeed.
Mm,
Someone said the last time that in a sense, you could have laziness could actually be
make you,
depending on
yeah.
how you hack it right.
It could make you
Could,
it
could,
could make
it
you
could,
succeed because you're
yeah,
lazy. You
yeah,
might find like shorter cuts to do things,
absolutely,
and
absolutely.
then that could
But
become, yeah,
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 yeah, but Kagan's is hard work, consistency, and
yes,
stubbornness, guts
yes.
as well. All right, good to hear, guys. I hope you're listening. Please, these pointers are important because I think they are building blocks to success. I'll go straight into some of the meat of what we're talking about in terms of Gen Z gaming, etc. And I'll talk about one where it's a thin line, and sometimes you cross to the negative side, to
All
the
right.
positive side, and it's about screen time. All right. It's often a concern, even for parents, as you know. Um, what tips do you have for some Gen Zs who try to maintain a healthy balance between tech use and other activities? I mean, narcissism can sometimes only, can only go so far. So how do you balance that?
Okay,
And
so
it's in your day
so
to day.
I always try to tell people real life is outside. I understand that a lot of people like myself make money on the internet, like with the content we're creating. Maybe we sell goods and products and everything. But never forget that your real life is when you turn off your phone and you go and face your problems outside, right? A lot of
Mm-hmm.
people place too much on social media, like me. Are they going to like this content? Are people going to cancel me? Insta blog, all this nonsense. It's all a figment of our own creation. It's not a real place. Instagram is not a place you can go. TikTok is not a place you can go to. It's on the internet. The moment you turn it off, Okay, the moment you turn it off, it's all gone. It's all noise, and then you have your real life to face. So,
Mm,
as much as I want you to be successful on the internet, if that's a thing that is important to you, it's also important to have a life outside. I'm not saying go and get a 9 to 5. That's It's not by force. I'm just saying make sure that you're building a life that you're happy, like you're genuinely happy about, a life that brings you genuine happiness, genuine peace, genuine comfort, so that if anything happens to this internet thing, because the government has done it before, they can ban a social media application, they
mm,
can ban all of them if they want, and then in Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, or everything will not work anymore, right? How many people can afford to pay for Starlinks to be able to access those things when that happens? So it's the
mm.
government of the country, you cannot fight them. So just make sure that outside of all of this, you still have a real life that you're building, that you're proud of, that you're enjoying, that brings you peace and brings you happiness. Surround yourself with love
Yeah.
so that you can be loved at home when the internet goes off. You understand? It's important to surround yourself with people who care about you, people who you care about, people who can correct you when you're wrong, like your parents, your friends, your spouse, whatever your stages in life. Just place a lot of importance
Mm.
on your life outside of the internet.
Good. Good, good. And it's a good point to start. I mean, a good place to start because, I mean, that's also part of your mental health.
Yes.
Guys, love, friends, real life, touch, sometimes put the phone down
Yes.
and engage one to one. Okay, so then let's talk about this one now because you talk about it a lot, the certifications, all right?
Ah,
Let me
I
see.
get a lot of flack for that.
Yeah, the
People are constantly
certifications.
coming for me.
Yeah,
Certifications are not important.
yeah, talk to us
I don't.
about that.
I mean, I try not to argue with it because truly, yes, they're not wrong, right?
Mhm.
I do not, and this is not me saying you should drop out of school, right? But
Yeah.
I cannot think of one job or one company I've worked for, or anything that asked for my graduation certificate from university. I cannot think of one tech company I've worked for that needed my certification in that particular field before they worked with me, right?
Mm,
It's always, oh, we've seen his work, we know his work, we can see a portfolio of his work, we're happy about
mm,
it. But we cannot dismiss the fact that getting a certification can actually help you leg up. So, for example,
mhm,
two people can be great at something, right? You're not the only one that knows it. There's going to be a bunch of other people. If both of you are struggling for the same thing and one is Google certified and the other isn't, as an employer, if you see that, okay, these people are equal, but this one actually took the time to get certifications, you are more inclined to give that person the job, right? I'm not saying that's always going to happen, but sometimes it makes a difference. And these certifications don't usually take too much of your time. So it
mm.
actually makes sense on your off day, on your off time, to just straight up go ahead and increase your steez. Do you understand? I don't know if you learned that one when you were learning all the slang, but yeah,
Yeah,
increase your steez because it will help
yeah,
somehow.
yeah. Good. So certificates are important. I mean, the real work, obviously, maybe outside of certificate, but get it. At least our parents will be happy
Yes,
to
they
know that at least,
love
at least.
certifications. Those old
Oh
people.
yeah.
Hey, once they see certificate like this,
But aside the regular university degrees, I think that certifications, and I'm talking about the ones you're talking about, are also pointing to the fact that you're disciplined and you're
yes.
going beyond just university certification to expand your knowledge base.
Even a
So I see.
university certification in Nigeria takes discipline. I don't know how familiar you are with the Nigerian education system, but
Wow.
it will reduce
That,
your steez by minus 30,000. You need a lot of discipline to actually finish, okay, in a Nigerian university. So now imagine, it takes a lot of, just the education itself is hard.
hmm,
The
hmm,
Nigerian system, the economy, the government, everything is against you. So if you can come out, I am so proud of you. So proud.
whether first class, second class, third class, it
So
don't
just
matter,
pass, F. You pass. You
right?
got out. Please. You did well. Well done. I'm clapping for you.
Uh, honestly, and I think that also we take for granted. It does take some heart to pass through the Nigerian, four walls, right? Academic four
Yes,
walls.
yes,
Let, let,
yes,
let, let
yes,
me
yes.
let's. Some people are asking some questions, so let me just take one or two.
Okay.
All right. What did you study, Mr. Kagan?
Or
Interesting.
I studied zoology. It's not what I went there to study, but it's what I was given. So I just kind of ran with it.
So zoology, did it imbue you with any skills that you, I mean, forget the certificate and the fact of
Zero C's,
looking after
bro.
animals.
Zero
Are,
C's.
are you
Zero
for real?
C's. Zero
Oh my
C's. I
God.
have never used anything I learned in school to do anything meaningful in my life.
Hmm,
Zero
hmm.
C's. Zero. Zero.
I,
Stay in
at what
school,
point?
but zero C's.
So, I mean, it's interesting, right? So you move from zoology to tech, right? Or to, content creation.
I didn't move. I have always kind of been very tech
Okay,
forward, right? So
okay,
even
okay.
while I was in school, I was always that guy, right? But then it was just easy to just continue in different paths. So I always like to tell people I've held more than 15 jobs in tech, different areas of tech, right? I started out producing music, then it was, I think,
Oh,
blogging,
oh
building
wow.
websites, digital marketing, SEO, like that, then web development, software development. Like I went all the stages. I thought I was looking for my thing, right?
Hmm,
I don't know if I found it necessarily, but I'm
hmm,
here
hmm.
because I made a smart decision based on the trajectory of the people. Because I just noticed people weren't reading anymore,
Yeah,
right? I noticed
true.
people were not reading 10,000 word blog posts. They would rather watch a short 5 minute video or a short 10 minute video. So I pivoted very quickly to making videos. And usually, when you do something every day, you get better at
Hmm.
it. So
Absolutely. Absolutely.
I got really good at making videos to the point where I understood the audience better than most people. So even though
Hmm.
there were so many people who were doing the same thing that I was doing because I blew up doing it, there was a difference,
Hmm.
right? Because you can't really have like a lot of people who make videos on the internet, content creators cannot string two sentences together without reading from a script,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
That's
yeah.
not,
That's
no
that.
offense to people
Hmm.
who create like that. That's completely fine. But over the years, I have gotten to the point where you just have to give me a topic, tell me what I'm talking about, and boom, you have a 90-second video, no mistakes, no retakes. I
Hmm.
spit
Hmm. Hmm.
most of the videos you watch, I just spit them once. And at the point when I got to that, I realized, okay, this is my genius, this is my thing, this is where I find my tribe.
Hmm.
I just need to like find a pain point for people and solve a problem. And it just made my
Hmm.
life easier, to be honest.
Hmm. So at what point did you, how early on in your life did you decide that this was it? I mean, even when you were in school and all of that. So I mean,
So I think
what was the
I think
thought
for
process? Yeah.
technology
Hmm.
and not like, maybe I'm just a bad boy, but like I've always had a problem with authority. So working for other people has always been hard for me. I cannot have a boss that I'm answering to. I can just have it. I will faint. We'll have problems all the time. Like I'm not necessarily a bad employee. I think I was a great employee at the places where I worked,
If I
but
say so
I
myself,
just
right?
no.
An accident.
So for just long term,
Okay.
eventually I'll need a change. I'll need to go
Uh,
up and go up.
okay.
And there's only so
Okay.
many ups you can go in a corporate setting, right? At some point, you are
True.
there, except you own the company outright, then there's
Hmm.
really no up after that. Right. So it was important for me to pivot into a role where I was in charge of other people. And one of the promises I made myself is that I would be a better boss to
Yeah.
anyone who works for me than every company I've ever worked. All the company cultures I've seen around the world, all the companies I have worked, I had to make sure that my own staff have a different experience of what it's like working at the company. And you can ask any of them, they're going to tell you that if there's an award for the best boss in the world, I will get it 10,000 times from Sunday and continue to get it because it's important. It's part of our company culture here, how we treat people and everything like that.
Yeah,
So, yeah,
yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay, so that's great. I don't know if you've seen some of the questions.
I'm seeing
Um,
them
so
more.
okay, so which one takes your fancy now? I mean, let me see. I don't please it's this I don't want to be an employee again. That's not what Kagan said, guys. Okay. That's not what
Yes,
he's
the point I
saying.
was trying to make is there's a roof in the corporate world. And for somebody like me with my big dreams, right? I'm definitely going to want to achieve way more. So I'll hit the ceiling very quickly and then I'll want more. I cannot go to my Oga's house in the night with gun and say, "I'll give me your company." That's not
No,
gonna, they're gonna jail me.
no.
Okay. So I needed to do my own thing.
Okay, cool. So that's fine. Let's talk about some of the technical stuff that people can learn. So I mean, so let me make it simple. Someone wants to do what you do. All right. What are the
Right.
things skills they need to have? What are the things they need to learn?
Wow.
to be able to be that tech content creator, right? So let's leave them with something to go home and chew on.
Okay, so you have to have a very analytic mind, right? You can't just be okay with something not working and then not knowing why it's not working. I'll give you an example. Give me a moment. Let me grab something.
Okay.
So this right here is a Blackmagic camera, right? It's when this camera was at its peak, when it was very hot, it was like a $3,000 camera. There's a general problem with cameras like this where the higher filter gets polluted. Just if you don't understand what that means, don't worry about it. I'm trying to make a different point. For somebody else, once that happens to this camera, they'll probably shelve it, right? Or they'll find a repairer or an engineer who is going to then charge them money to fix whatever is wrong with it and all that stuff. I'm a little different, right? What I would do is I would turn on the lights, get my Allen key set, open it up, and see what the problem is. If it's a part I need to buy, then I'll import it, impute it, and I'll get back to using my camera. That's the kind of person I am. So if you can have that curious mind where you want to see how things work and you want to fix them and you want to repair them, technology or otherwise, it's very easy for you to do this. Then you're going to have value that you can offer people that nobody else can, essentially. Yeah. So that's basically just it. Be extremely analytical, be curious, look for solutions for everything. When you find those solutions, share it with people. They may not give you money for the answers, but they will give you their loyalty and their friendship. And that's what I have now.
Look, let me just tell you what just happened now, right? When you got up, someone said you were going to bring a camera.
Oh wow. See, they know me. Those are my people. That's my tribe. They know me. They know me. That's just me. They know me.
So there's this other question as well. And I don't know how you want to attack it. It's let me see. Yeah, so content creation is huge for Gen Zs, right? So
Yes,
some questions that I put together. So what affordable gadgets or apps can young people leverage to create high quality content? So because we're going into the technicalities, right?
Okay.
So what's that?
So that part is easy, right? The first one is use the cheapest camera you can find, which is usually the phone in your hand, right?
Okay.
You can start with whatever phone you have now and then gradually upgrade or whatever to like a Sony Xperia or a Samsung or an iPhone, whatever, ecosystem you want to use. The camera in your hand, learn how to use it properly. If you can't afford expensive lights like the Godox SL60Ws and the softbox, use a window, okay? Open a window, let the sun in, or go outside and shoot. Like, the sun is free during the day. So, and then there's cheap microphones that people like Samdek are selling, and you can enter Lagos Market or Computer Village and buy, or check all these online stores, Konga, Jumia, Gigi, all that stuff, and buy as well. So, it's incredibly easy. So it's funny. This period that we're in is the easiest period to, the barrier of entry to content creation is like the lowest, but it's also the highest, right? And it's a thing of a perspective, right? If you have that learner's mindset like I do, like I always tell people, if you take everything I have now and I had to start again, in another 6 months I'll be here again. Yes. Because I have gathered all that knowledge and I know what I need to do. Even if all I had was a smartphone in my pocket, I will do it again. Because it wasn't a fluke, it wasn't luck, it was opportunity meeting preparedness. And I'm always prepared, right, for any opportunity that comes my way. So if you can start where you are, before you know it, you're going to have a staff of 15 people working for you, helping you make your videos. These days I don't even edit videos anymore. I don't think I remember how to.
Okay.
Like I'll just I just wake up now, I come, I sit down, I talk. Other people handle it, they talk amongst themselves. Do you think we should do it like this, do it better? Before they present it to me, if I have changes, I'll tell them, okay, adjust this, make this better. They would go come back, we have a finished video, then you see it on the ground. That's basically how we work these days. And it's easy. Like a lot of companies, when they send me a list of changes that they want to their videos or whatever, they are not realizing I'm straight up just forwarding that email to another editor. Whatever the editor who was responsible for that video gets the email. It's not my problem anymore. I'm just managing people at this point. I'm a people manager at KaganTech. I don't do any of the work, even to the content research. I don't do it anymore.
You're the boss now. You're the boss now.
But yeah, it makes life easy because now you have more
Yeah,
time to spend on other things. Like I said,
yeah,
your life is
yeah.
not on the internet, so you have
It's
to,
true.
yeah.
Yeah, you're building a business now. Right now, you're building a business, right? And those soft people skills are actually key now. How do you scale that
Yes.
business, right? And get other people to do the not the dirty work, but at least do the
So the
heavy
other
lifting.
work, scaling is easy, but also difficult. I think a lot of content creators don't understand the business of content creation.
Mm,
But then I also think that comes from a lack of influence,
mm,
right? As an
mm,
influential person, a key opinion leader, if you know that if I talk about this application, I can get 20,000 people to download it. This is a new application nobody uses, by the way. There's a certain level of I respect myself that comes with that. Like every word out of my mouth is expensive. So I have to
mm,
price myself properly. I have to not sell
mm,
myself short. And I can't just
mm,
accept anything anyone is offering me because when I
mm,
say stuff, people hold on to it.
mm,
And I think I've
mm,
gotten to that point where I can get in a lot of trouble for anything I say. In fact, I constantly get in these situations because of,
mhm,
yeah. So with
mhm.
great power comes great responsibility, and
That's
that great
yeah.
responsibility should also be monetized, right?
Mm,
I think
mm.
one of the gist about me that flies in the industry is that
Yeah.
I'm too expensive, right? It's a thing that brand managers and the people who are working at all these agencies, it's a thing that they say. And the beautiful thing is they will still tell me because I am friendly with these people like, Kiga, your money is too much. Do you understand? Like so easily when they're even bringing me gigs, it's almost like they're begging me to please not say no because I will
Mm,
straight up reject it. It has gotten to that point because I understand the influence and the power that I hold. And a lot of
mm,
content
mm.
creators, even though they may have similar,
Yeah.
there are not many, but even though they may have similar, they don't have that confidence. Also, there's the
Mm,
fact that people have to eat, right? You have to you have to pay your bills, you have to take it. So a lot of people will just, 500,000 naira, okay, oh, I've gotten this one
mm.
for this month, that kind of thing, right?
Yeah.
So I always urge content creators to not like put their entire life on this and then try to find other things to have other sources of income. I mean, think about the 7 years that I was doing YouTube and it wasn't.
Yeah. Yeah.
Imagine if
Yeah.
I
Yeah. That's.
didn't have
Mhm.
other things that I was doing that was bringing money so I could have plus 10,000 steeds. That would have just been bad, bro.
Mm. Wow.
So just
So.
try, diversify, have a thing that you do that brings you income that's not dependent on whether a company comes to you and offers you money for advertising or for content or anything like that. Because
Mhm,
that also gives you the confidence to be able to
mhm.
explore and try new things.
Wow. 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 That's
Okay,
word,
so
right? Someone said word.
let me
Yeah.
just quickly address this. Somebody called
Okay.
Pearl Solution said content creation is a hit or miss. Content creation is not a hit or miss.
Mm,
You're doing it wrong, right?
mhm,
It's the same thing I just spoke about. You're putting all your eggs in one basket and you're not
mm,
what's the word? You're not metamorphosizing quick enough. You're not adjusting to the audience.
mhm,
So remember how I said I started this by like teaching people tech tips, how to use this on their
mhm,
phone and do that on your phone. You will hardly see me do that these days. It's by design, right?
mhm,
The people who are still doing that, they're not getting any views anymore. You guys are bored already. You're tired.
mm,
So if
mm,
anybody is still doing iPhone users, here's a tech tip for your Samsung. We're bored. We're done. So when it was time to switch over to making AI tools and helping you people with real life problems like your projects in school and the things you need at work and doing presentations with a one-line prompt, I was the guy you came to for that.
mm,
A lot of people didn't adjust from the thing we used to do, right? When it's the time for the next thing, I'm the guy you still come to because I stay ahead of the cutting trend. Do you
mm,
understand?
mm,
So content creation is not hit or miss. You're just not moving quickly enough with the trends. So you need to actually understand the audience, know what they need, not just what they're telling you they need, right?
mm,
Know
mm.
what they need, understand what their pain points and their problems are, solve those problems, and I promise you, content creation will always be a hit for you. I promise.
He has his money on that actually, guys, and then I think he has results to show for it, right?
Yes, yes,
Yeah,
yes.
he has the money to show for it as well. Okay, cool. So, um, guys, I mean, okay, so I'll ask one question and then we'll go back to do some technical stuff. Now, I think it's key that you're talking a lot about the soft skills, not necessarily the technical skills, all right? Because I think a lot of people fail in that respect, all right? So,
Yes.
you start stuff, you struggle. I mean, it took bloody 7 years, right? I hope that's not swearing. Where are my people? It's going on TV. Yeah, it took long and hard years, right?
Yes.
And I think one of the things that again, um, I say this with respect. One of the things that this generation struggles with is patience,
Yes.
all right, and seeing stuff
Yes.
through, all right.
Yes.
So it's
Yes.
important. It's important that you know this. I mean, so. And I will always like to draw you guys to the very beginning. So Kagan talks about, I don't do stuff anymore. I've gotten to the stage where a lot of people are working with me. I have a staff that is 15 strong. He didn't tell you as well that he has a mansion where he lives in, right? And a lot of people are okay, so let's not even go there. And then somebody was talking about a swimming pool. They know what they're talking about. But I mean, so that's the drip now, right? Okay, so but you need to rewind. Now, for you to get there, there's a lot of things in the process that helps you get there. There's a lot of failure, trial and failure that goes into the process. But I mean, you just have to stick through with it, and that's what he did. He was just stubborn, and it helps as well if that's part of your nature, right? But sometimes you just need to also just dig deep, dig deep. The analytical, come on, diversify. I mean, these are little things, but they're the things that actually will make a very, very big difference when you try to succeed in this dynamic, ever-changing, crazy world. I mean, look at what
Yeah.
after COVID. Look at what changed after COVID.
Yeah.
Look at how companies pivoted completely.
Yeah.
And started doing stuff else. Okay, so cutting edge is key, and I think that's why Kagan stays ahead of the curve. By the way, we got, and I'm not throwing any flack at any person. I have a very good friend who's a content creator who struggles at that point of lots of work and how do we delegate and how do I get other people to help and pitch in. It's not as easy as it sounds, Kagan. At
It's
least for
not.
some people.
It's actually not.
Uh,
It's not.
yeah,
For somebody
so
like me who was used to doing everything for myself, I did everything at KaganTech Enterprises until September, October-ish last year, right?
okay.
I edited the videos, did the research, did everything. I was the only staff to going to
Mm,
having 15 people working for me is very difficult, especially because people are different, right? So it takes
mm-hmm,
time for you to teach people your company culture, how you expect them to do things. Even then, they're still going to make mistakes. They're never going to do it the same way as you, right?
mm-hmm,
Which might be a problem for people. It was a problem for me at first. But I think gradually I also realized that this is also an opportunity for them to do it better than me,
mm-hmm,
right? Because we're different. So just because I do things a certain way doesn't mean that they have to. We're trying to achieve a common goal, right? We want to reach people, we want to educate people, and we want to reach as many people as possible, as organic as possible. So we're not spending money on advertising our own videos.
mm-hmm.
So if you're able to edit a video that actually gets retention without necessarily doing it the exact way that I do it, then you're not wrong. You're just different.
Mm-hmm.
So I need to adjust my own perspective and mentality to be able to accommodate your own creativity. I will give you
Yeah, yeah.
corrections, I will give you
Mm-hmm.
ideas, I'll give you suggestions, but it's okay for you to try and maybe fail. And then when you fail a couple of times and then you say, okay, maybe this is not working, let me try it this other way, that gives us an opportunity to grow. So
Mm-hmm.
now, not only are we not doing it the way that I do it or the way that you thought we should do it, now we're doing it a significantly better way because we failed at what you first
Yeah.
tried. So I don't know. I embrace failure. Like I feel
Mm.
like you should fail often, fail as early as possible, fail many times,
Yeah.
fail a lot.
Mm.
Because the moment you succeed, Omo, it will be
Yeah,
hard to stop you.
I blew me that. So.
Yes. Once you failed and failed and failed and then you finally eat it, Omo,
Yeah.
Otilo.
Yes,
Plus
so
10,000 skis.
I'm telling you, seas of life, man. Okay, cool. So let's talk about two interesting concepts that I will not be forgiven if I don't talk about it: cybersecurity and AI. So,
All right.
cybersecurity, one of the most important concepts in tech. How can people keep themselves safe while gaming? So this is talking about gaming, right?
All right.
And how can people keep themselves safe while gaming? Cybersecurity. What are your thoughts on that, Keegan?
So first off, I think a lot of parents need to be, especially because a lot of people who like video games are significantly younger, probably less than 18 years old. A lot of
Yeah.
parents need to be very particular about using parental controls on these devices, the Xbox, the PS5, the TVs, whatever the case. It's important. It's important to actually protect your kids. If it's actually just straight up possible, disconnect the internet from these devices and let them play locally.
Mm,
There's a way to do that, right? So and this is probably just because I'm slightly older, right? I am the kind of person who would not download games online and then have to rely on being connected to the internet to play them. I'd rather buy the CDs. Like I have a bunch of, I'd rather buy the CDs, mostly because I know that someday I'm not going to be the one playing these games. I'll probably have kids who are doing this, and I need to be able to control whether they're connected to the internet or not. Right? So you can insert a CD and enjoy the game, play the entire story mode without listening to some 35-year-old man somewhere who is also playing,
Yeah.
making sexual passes at your child and things like
Come on.
this. Yeah.
Come on.
So these are little things, and stuff that parents should pay attention to, especially when it's with their kids and stuff. Now I don't know what advice to give for things like CODM, where they actually have to be online to play on the phones and all that. I don't know what to say about that, but I'm sure there are ways for you to protect your child, right? Watch the kind of content that they're consuming and things like that. It's very, very important.
And then we go back to obviously being analytical, being one step. It's like playing chess, right? Tunde or knockout.
Yes,
And then
and
being,
funny enough, a lot
yeah,
of parents don't
yeah,
realize that the kids are actually smarter than
yeah,
they
yeah,
let on.
yeah,
They don't
yeah,
want you
yeah.
to actually know how smart they are, so that you don't cut their wings, right? They don't want you to clip their wings, so they're not going to let you know that they found a way to bypass the whatever. You need to be sharp guy. You understand? Always alert.
Absolutely.
Otherwise, they'll just
Yeah,
reduce your
yeah.
skills.
Yeah, and back in the days when we were growing up as well, I remember, I don't know if you guys ever, when stand-up was just starting, and then Eddie Murphy used to do something called the Eddie Murphy Live or Eddie Murphy Raw.
Yeah.
And then he would do stand-up comedy for one hour. I mean, it was the first time I saw Richard Pryor, and forgive me if I'm saying names that you guys don't even understand. But
You're
yeah,
too young to know these people, but please go on.
there's Richard Pryor, there was Eddie Murphy, and then he was doing it, and then unfortunately, my dad, because it was a cassette VHS, guys. I mean, I explain what that means later. So we put it in a VHS cassette, and then we were watching Eddie Murphy Raw, and then my father comes in and he sits down, and all of us are, it's like, when we're talking about this Gen Z slang. And then we were really, really uncomfortable because, of course, the way Eddie Murphy talked. It was a
Yeah,
lot of swear words,
it's quite
lots of
raw.
very raw, right? But my father understood absolutely nothing the guy was talking about, nothing. And here we are,
He
kids
probably
on the
just thought, you shouldn't be watching this.
yeah.
This
But
is
I mean,
not right.
but he
This is
didn't
not
even
okay.
know.
Our parents have accents like this. This is not
Yeah,
okay. You should not be. You should be watching educative stuff. You should be
absolutely.
reading your books. You should be preparing
Yeah.
for your masters. That's how they.
Yeah. So, but they didn't know. But yeah, and I like the fact that one of us were not Gen Zs. Right? Apologies to all the Gen Zs. But I think we are making an effort to try to also come down to that level because it's important. Even if it's just for business. For me, in business, I have to know exactly what my biggest market is thinking and talking, what the trends are. And then for some of us, you just have kids who you just really need to watch over because the world is quite criminal and dangerous
Of
and
course.
evil,
Of
if you know what
course.
I mean. So, right. So, yeah. So sometimes as much as it's possible, especially for those games, I think it's important sometimes to disconnect and then, play real life and engage properly. Okay, so let's talk about AI and how AI has improved game development. In your work, has it made it easier for you? Is there any AI you're leveraging, to get better?
I would I would shock you that I give people AI tools every single day of my life, but I personally don't use any AI around my house, around my work, around my
Mm,
studio. I have
mm,
a innate fear for AI.
okay.
I don't hate it. I'm just scared of it. I'm scared of what it can do. I'm scared of how intrusive it can get, right? So I try to avoid AI as much as possible. So this is why I would rather use people that I can
Mm,
communicate with, and we do these things. There's also like, and this has been like a paranoia that I've had from like way back when, right? In
mm,
my house, as tech as I
mm,
am, I will not use Amazon Alexa. I will not use
okay.
Google Home. I will not use any sort of listening devices. I just don't do it. Anything that has cameras, anything that has, and connects to the internet on somebody else's server, you would never find it around me. I have been avoiding AI like the plague. But then there are other
Mm,
places in my life that you see AI every day. For example, the captions on our videos,
okay.
right? So those automatic captions that you see, there's an AI
Mm,
doing that, right?
okay.
And it's just faster than having somebody type it out.
Transcribe it.
Usually I do my captions 5 minutes before I go live. I just cross check it and then correct maybe if it makes any mistakes and stuff and all that, and then I post. But I'm gonna tell you a weird experience I also had with that captions app that actually gave me the chills down to the my spine. Okay. There was one morning I was gonna do captions to a video that I thought was actually quite hilarious, right?
Okay.
And in the interjections, like these memes I put in the middle of my videos, right, that make people laugh and make it more engaging.
Yeah. Yeah.
The AI tool was typing in those interjections. You are not funny, dude. This is actually not funny.
Are you
Like
serious?
there was nothing in the video saying that. It felt like it knew I was watching and then it was conversating with me
Oh
and
wow.
telling me that I
Uh,
wasn't funny and I don't like this content that you're putting out. And I'm just like, at first I thought this was an error, and then he just kept on doing that throughout the video.
hmm.
And then I started deleting that manually. I'm not gonna lie, till tomorrow I'm still scarred, okay?
Oh wow.
Things like that make me try to avoid integrating AI into my day-to-day life. I don't now know if any of my staff are taking shortcuts when I'm not there.
Mm,
But personally,
mm, mm.
I would give you the AI, yeah, on how to get your spreadsheet and everything from Excel and do it quickly and organize your data and all that. For me
Mm.
personally, I will open Microsoft Excel and I'll type it by myself because that just gives me peace of mind.
Chat,
Maybe I'm just old, but
yeah, yeah. So Chat GPT, Gemini
I
AI,
do
all of
not
that.
use
You don't.
ChatGPT. I
Oh
don't
my
use
God.
Gemini. I don't.
Okay.
Even the Galaxy AI that came with my phone,
Uh,
from when I was on stage
uh,
displaying it for Samsung, I've never opened it again. I'm not going to lie to you. I don't use that stuff.
oh my goodness. So someone is just saying that I thought this was hilarious. He said he lives in Ondo. He does not use AI. He disconnects. Are you sure you're not in the secret service?
One
Come
zero,
on, Kiga.
one zero, 1-0, 1-0, 1-0. That's nice.
Oh my word. Okay, cool. So I mean, it's good for work. It's
Yes,
good for some of the. It makes life a lot easier, but you try to limit it as much as it's possible. And then
yes.
obviously people talk about ethical AI and all of that. Okay, so um, there's one question I'll ask, and then I'll go through the content, and then we go into this interesting mode where we try to get to see people who will win the devices.
Mm,
Um, Technology trends, all right? So you're at the cutting edge of technology, so you definitely know some things that we do not do.
mm,
And I know that you share and you try to help other people as well. So
yes.
if you're a Gen Z baddie and you're trying to look for that next big thing, what are the trends that you think we should be aware of as we try to get our own big break?
The first one is the very obvious one, which I don't really like,
Okay.
AI, right? Because it's what is out right now. This, despite the fact that I fear it, I don't like it. I let my content research team actually bring me a lot of AI tools. Then we break it down
Mhm.
to
Okay.
what is most useful for people and share. And a lot of people in here who are probably students or maybe master students, PhD, writing their thesis currently, they would attest to the fact that whatever tool that they're currently using to write that, they probably learned it from me, right? So
Mm, mm,
it's going to make life easier. A lot of people's jobs are not going to be very, very important anymore. They're
mm,
only going to have those jobs maybe because the company still wants to keep them, right? So if you're not adjusting very quickly to the AI that is coming, you're going to be left behind horribly, right? A lot of jobs, in fact, today shouldn't exist anymore, if we're being honest. The only reason why
mm,
you still have a job is because you're in Nigeria, right?
mm,
A lot of
mm,
things can be very easily replaced by an AI tool, or, understandably, there's still going to be some human input needed. But at the end of the day, it's very minimal to the point where your job is just redundant at this point. So if you're not adjusting to the economy and trying to figure out how you can actually be useful beyond whatever 9 to 5 you're currently doing, hey, hey,
mm,
I pity you.
mm,
And this is
mm,
why I
mm.
keep saying real life is outside, right?
Yeah,
I would
yeah,
never, I would
yeah.
never advise anyone right now, for example, to start becoming a graphic designer. I know that would sound very
Yeah.
wicked or mean,
Uh-huh,
but
uh-huh.
I'm not going to advise you to put your time into learning Photoshop and becoming a graphic designer, because there's AI tools that I can pay $5, get 1,000 tokens, and
Mm,
I can be getting all my graphic designs for the next 1 year, and it will do it how
mm,
I want, and I would instruct it to give me changes, and the changes are immediate. This is the best part. I don't have to wait for somebody to go for 20 hours to adjust something in Photoshop and change something. I can just tell an AI to one sentence and it will adjust it immediately.
mm.
Think about that and then
Wow.
adjust your expectations and what you're going to be doing. You understand? So that they will not carry you
Mm.
handicap. Very important. Uh-huh.
And someone is whining you, say, can you suggest AI tools for writing pieces? Look
This,
at this. Well,
if you Go to my page. There's like 10 of them. There are so many. Just scroll. Enjoy.
Guys, we know when you are using ChatGPT, and I'm not even going to talk about that now. So we're saying, well, we do know. So we're saying,
Oh my
right? I
God.
mean, fill the form and talk about why you want to win a laptop, and somebody
And
just
then
uses
it's using
ChatGPT,
Oh my
and
God.
we
Oh my
know, my
God.
guys. So we
Also,
know, and
also, if you guys are trying to scam money, I have shared AI tools you can use to remove all the signs of ChatGPT, okay? So use those next time so that it
no,
doesn't
no.
know.
No. See, you can't turn this on me. It's if you are trying to scam Kagan, it's the one choosing. It's not me, guys. It's not me. It can never be me. All right, cool. So this one is interesting. Okay, this is the third pillar, and we talk about it when we speak about what are the things that matter to me, my company, and all of that. It's
So what do you mean
sustainability.
Kagan is AI? What is this? Somebody said Kagan is AI. Kagan is not AI, Wejo. What? Please, please, please.
That's not AI. It's not like this is not a computer generated blah blah blah. This is Kagan talking all the way from Akure, by the way. Believe it or
Now,
not.
wow.
Uh,
I feel like you're trolling me when you say that. It sounds like you're trolling.
anyway, so see this one, sustainability. I think I saw a post that you did on that recently, if I remember correctly.
Yes.
Are there any eco-friendly gadgets or tech initiatives you're particularly impressed with as far as sustainability is concerned, Kagan? Before we do
Mm,
stuff, yep.
and this is probably going to ruffle a lot of feathers, but I like how Apple is leading the charge for, zero carbon footprint by
Mm-hmm.
2030,
Mm-hmm.
where they're not putting plastic in their boxes anymore. They're not putting charge bricks in their boxes anymore. It sounds so redundant, but so many of you have 10 charge bricks and you will not use, you will just be throwing it away, right? So it actually makes sense that they're forcing you to use what you have
Mm-hmm.
so that you're not constantly buying and throwing stuff away, right? The only real thing that I think it was Kenya that I saw this,
Okay.
that I feel like Nigeria
Mm-hmm.
needs to get to,
Mm-hmm.
is no plastic, right?
Yeah.
No
I
plastic in the
saw that.
entire
I love
country.
that.
I noticed how in the hotels and in the
Yep.
restaurants and everything it was
I
glass
saw that as well.
bottles that
Yeah.
were
Or paper.
recyclable, reusable.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, and you could
Mm-hmm.
drink your water from that. That is, you have no idea how much cleaner the country is going to be, right?
Mm-hmm.
Your water. I was at an hotel recently that was on top of the ocean in Lagos, right? I just wanted the experience to feel what it was like to sleep over the water, and I looked down at the water and then there was just so much nonsense, right? That kind of
I
stuff
think
can be
I know the
avoided
one.
if we didn't have,
Yeah.
yeah, if we didn't have plastic everywhere, right? That's
Mm-hmm.
one thing that I think it's not exactly tech, but I feel like there can be a tech
Yeah.
solution to this.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like there
Mm-hmm.
can be a tech solution to this. I spoke about batteries. It's something very little that you can do to contribute, but it helps.
Mm-hmm.
So every time you're trying to, change the what's it called on your Xbox controller, right? You don't have to be using all those batteries that are constantly dying after 3 days, and then you buy new ones, throw them in the bin and all that. No, just get rechargeable batteries. It makes a difference, right? All your remote controls, your sound bars, your whatever it is you're using, use rechargeable batteries. It helps. It might seem very little, but you have no idea
Mm-hmm.
if that little thing that you're doing is going to save a bunch of people's lives.
Mm-hmm. Cool. That's true. I do something as well. And I thought hard and long with my team about this one, and some people warned me about this. But I ask you the first question: myth or fact? Yeah, I mean, you started a storm on this one already on social media. Xbox or
Somebody
PS?
told me to get my cap, so I'm just gonna.
Yeah, I get the cap. Yeah. Yeah, I saw that one as well. No, but you also do the hoodie as well, right? So it's not just this one.
So,
But
so
I
I've,
suppose this
I've,
one,
I've
yeah.
kind of stopped the hoodie for a little bit, right? It seemed
Okay,
a
yeah.
little impractical. The country is very, very hot these days. So it,
So
it,
you
it would
have you
also
have
give
your
people more reason to drag me because they're always saying I'm inside AC. So yeah, so
yeah,
I wanted to relate to people on a
yeah,
very personal level. So it's
yeah.
not like, oh, me, I'm here, I'm hot, I'm suffering, and then you're inside AC wearing hoodie. What do you mean by that? Why should I listen to you? So I just kind of
Yeah.
removed. And these are also mental nuances that go into videos that people don't notice. It
True,
makes you more
absolutely.
relatable. It makes you
Uh-huh,
more
uh-huh,
friendly. It makes
uh-huh,
people be
uh-huh.
able to laugh with you, and then you guys can have fun in the comment section, insult each other if you must. Yeah. So these things matter, but a lot of content creators don't care about it. So,
Mm,
there's a
mm.
science
Cool.
to holding the audience's attention.
Yeah, is, and these are the little things that we should learn. Thanks a lot, Kagan. Now you just need to put the infinity sign on that. I bet you, Jan. Yeah, yeah, no, we're good. And I will
Oh my
say,
god.
your Excellency. And then we're good. Hey, you look good on the cap. Okay, cool. So
Thank you,
you
Joe.
started this Xbox. Oh, is this thing buffering? Is this Starlink?
Maybe it's
Did I
about
say Starlink?
to rain.
Okay. All right, can you hear me now? Okay, so I think
Yes.
it's back. Xbox, PS5. What's your take?
That
Just say
conversation.
yes or no.
I have both. I have both. And let
Yeah,
me say it now
yeah.
because it's going to piss off a lot of people. The PS5 is trash, okay? Do not buy that thing if you're a beginner gamer. You look, anybody who is a serious gamer knows that you're supposed to game with PCs, right? Build a gaming PC, game
True.
with that.
I agree.
If
I
you
agree.
would already build a gaming PC from Microsoft by Microsoft using parts that build a system for Microsoft, it makes sense to get an Xbox. It's the more powerful device, right? It's the better gaming device. It's
Wait,
just
wait,
more
wait,
fun.
wait.
I don't know.
Okay, yeah, started again, please. I'm not saying you
No, no,
should
no,
wait
no.
till I
I've
get
not.
for
It's the
Xbox.
truth, actually. When it comes to processing power, the Xbox is better. This is on paper. This is not my opinion,
Okay,
right?
okay,
The only
okay.
thing that PS5 people are always saying is that they have exclusive games. They have God of War. They have Last of Us. Who cares? Go and play
Mhm.
Halo on your PS5. What do you mean? Please go and sit down.
Yeah, thank you for making me. It's for telling me I just wasted my money, but that's fine. I
No, no,
mean,
no. You didn't waste your money because I
I'll
don't
get
even
to
think you're
my.
spending that much time gaming, right? If we're being
Yeah.
completely honest,
Mhm.
when I had the PS5 connected to the TV, I hardly ever used it. Even this one, I'm making conscious effort to remember to actually go online and play games, right? People who are already nearing this age, we are not spending that much time. To be honest, let's not lie to ourselves,
Mm,
right?
mm.
But then when you just want to relax, it's nice to have either or. So at the end of the day, whatever you choose is whatever you choose is okay. That's completely fine. But me personally, and me and my household, Xbox for life, okay?
Xbox, cool, cool, cool. He said that, all right. But most of us still use PS. I don't know, but yeah, okay, cool.
Yeah.
I'm not even going to ask you which is the better PC, right? But
Oh no, the
let's not
Xbox
even go there.
is the. I mean,
Uh,
oh, you mean the
uh,
better PC?
Please don't
Oh,
say anything
this is not a
now.
conversation we can have.
Don't say. Yeah, we can't have this conversation. So let's not
HP
just
for
go
life,
there.
okay?
Yeah.
HP
Now
for
you're
life.
talking. Now you're talking. Now you're talking. No cap.
I
No
mean,
cap.
we're talking to the country head of HP. What did you expect me to say?
And now for that one, I say exactly as you said. Me and my household.
We
H-
use HP. I
HP
support
all
that.
the way. Absolutely cool. They say Gen Zs are lazy. Guys, comment box, is that true?
Nah, they're not.
Myth or
Gen
fact?
Zs are just they'll rather look for like
Mm,
easier ways to do stuff. Doesn't mean they're lazy. They're just smarter.
mm,
They're more
they're
efficient.
smarter.
They're more energy efficient. That's the phrase. They're more energy
And you're not talking about
efficient.
and you're not talking about electricity.
No, no, no. Okay, so
It's
look at it for
energy.
example. There's like
Yeah.
there's old people who their
Uh,
wives still have to grind pepper by hand with the grindstone and all that because they think it tastes different,
mm, mm, mm.
right?
Yeah,
I'll
it's
never
like
do
pounded
that.
it's like pounded
Pounding
yam
yam,
as
and
well, right?
some people
Yeah,
believe that
yeah.
you still have to pound it by hand or it doesn't taste the same. That's just archaic thinking,
Mm.
right? A Gen Z person has figured out a way to use a butcher mix blender to make pounded yam, and you're done in 5 minutes. That's yes, that's and then they'll say is Gen Z is lazy. But the pounded jam is going to be like more, what's that word? There's no cocoa inside, right?
Yeah, yeah,
Because they
smooth
use the booty mix blender. But these old people don't get it. So me, I'm for the Gen
uh,
Zs. The Gen Zs they're looking for smarter ways to do things, and I'm all for that. It's so much better.
tell me about that pounded yam hack again. Just say it because I think the thing buffered when you were talking about it, right?
No, no, no. So there's and this is another thing I really don't like about the internet, trying to bully people who come up with
uh, uh,
softer solutions for things. There's a bunch of food content creators online now that chefs don't like. They
okay.
refer to them as lesser than because they call them Bucci Mix content
Ah,
creators.
Bucci
These
mix.
people basically, Bucci Mix is a company that makes blenders, right? They make like really high quality blenders. So they send these blenders to these content creators, and then these content creators create like interesting recipes, creative
Mm-hmm.
stuff. And I guess somebody came up with a way to make pounded jam with a Bucci Mix blender.
Mm.
And the powers that be and the people who are gatekeeping don't like that for some reason. And I don't know why. I don't know why. lie.
Okay.
Okay, but please, there's easier ways to use blender to make your pounded jam without stressing yourself. You're
Okay.
welcome.
Blender. Funny thing is, back in the days, there used to be something like that. It was a pounded yam machine.
Mm.
Interestingly, for those who had a fetish for the wood, the thing that turned it was made of wood. All right, and then if you put it was really beautiful and seamless, and used to pound the yam. But I don't, and this was really early on. But I don't think they succeeded, right? Because I think Nigerians still wanted to. They still wanted Ekiti people. Is it Ekiti people or Ondo people that used to pound well? Tell me. Keegan.
So I think it's Ondo people
It's
actually.
Ondo. It's your
Yeah,
people. Anyway,
it's
so your
Ondo people.
people are the ones who love to pound yam with the
Yes, yes, they
with the
love pounded
tool.
jam so
Yeah,
much. And funny
yeah.
enough, me, I'm not even a big swallow guy. I
Okay.
don't think I've had pounded jam in the last 2 or 3 years.
Uh,
So I don't
okay.
know. I'm not a fan. My
No,
palate is very limited.
no,
Just give me bread or
no,
cereal
no, no, no.
and
But
I'm
Keegan,
good.
you like you're a food enthusiast now. So and
Yes,
that
I
means
am. So the kind of food,
you've gone
no,
completely foreign.
see, the kind of food enthusiasm I'm talking about is not the kind that I want to cast myself here,
Okay.
right? I'm talking about going to Z Kitchen and ordering an entire tomahawk. That's the kind of enthusiasm I have.
Okay. That's
Yeah,
what you're
I'm not
talking
talking
about,
about
right?
local food like kukuru and all that. That's
Uh,
so not me. It's not my style.
so that I mean that just tells you how eclectic Kagan is, right? So yeah, and then he still does Z Kitchen. Is there Z Kitchen in Ondo State?
No, there, there isn't. But I think I mentioned to you that I'm constantly in Lagos, right? Because
Okay, okay,
there's so
okay,
much to
okay.
do in Lagos. So yeah.
Yeah. And we mentioned Z Kitchen. It tells us about your net worth, by the way. But okay.
LOL. No, it doesn't. How much are
Okay.
they selling? How much am I making? Please, oh,
Okay.
Ejo.
Okay, cool. So thanks a lot, Keegan. I think it's a wonderful conversation, and I think you can see the comments. Thankfully, this is recorded. It's going to go on YouTube, and then you guys can rewind and have some fun laughing at Keegan and Manny, as well as, I mean, guys that are not Gen Zs and are trying to be Gen Z baddies, but talking sense. And I think there's so many nuggets, that he has shared, which we can talk about when we summarize. But let's do something. Let's try to give out the laptop, and I'll tell you just a little bit about that. So there's a form that it's a form that most of you guys filled, most of you guys here have filled, and Kagan is going to pick the two people. I need to say that over and over again. All
God, I
right,
beg
all
you.
right. So there's a lot that goes through the process. So there's the team would select a couple of people who they thought their entries were really great, and it gives also something that we need to just point out. When you do have an opportunity like that, please just blow the thing out of the park. Don't be doing one-liners and be telling us life story about how your family is suffering and then somebody, and stuff like that.
For some reason,
Yeah,
some people,
I
and
don't
we
know.
should actually talk
Yeah,
about that.
yeah,
You
please,
see,
Uh-huh.
one thing that I always try to teach young people is that
Yeah,
you cannot get anything done by simply begging for
yeah, yeah, yeah,
pity and all that. You have to offer value,
yeah,
okay? A lot of
yeah,
people come to my emails all the time saying, oh, they're in this situation, they're in that decision, tagging me to things that are none of my, it is genuinely
yeah,
none of my business. Because I'm a public person doesn't mean you have access to me or you can just ask me for anything.
yeah.
But if you offer me value, right, and I'm going to
Mm,
shock you,
mm,
aside one staff member at KaganTech, which is the first person I hired,
mhm.
the other 14 people, yeah, were people who came and offered me a solution to a problem
Yeah.
that they could see they could take off my hands,
Mm,
right? So somebody saw that my Twitter was not popping because I don't use Twitter. Oh, we can undo that for you. This is what I've done. This is my portfolio. This is how I can help you. And of course,
mhm,
you can also help me by giving me some of your money too. And that became a relationship and done.
mhm,
Next, you understand. So you have to you have to have something that you're offering to somebody that you're
mhm,
asking. So it's not like you are begging, right? You are offering something in exchange for something.
mhm,
Life is very, very transactional. And as long as you can constantly offer value, you're
mhm.
definitely going to get value. Value
Yeah,
is everything, like this person just said.
yeah, absolutely. Yeah, so we got lots of entries, and the entries were off the hinges thanks as well to Kagan, and what we did to it. So we got over 700 entries. By the way, we
Sorry,
have
you got over 700 entries. Did that happen today?
no, a lot of it happened
Happened
today,
today.
but yes, a
That's
lot of it happened
crazy.
today. That's cool. So and it was easy to whittle it down because a lot of people did one-liners, and I figured a lot of people were in
And
a
Chat
hurry
GPT.
and ChatGPT. serendipity as well, plus stories about Nigeria and Ashiwaju and the national anthem and the
Oh
Super
God.
Eagles. So yeah, so I mean, a lot of these things, but I think, guys, it's life is an opportunity. So Kagan said, prepare and wait, and when that opportunity comes, kill
Take
it
it.
out of, take it, and be the best in the room. So we have isolated some people. We also wanted people to come in here and pitch. So some of the people who had some of the great entries are here as well. We're going to allow 5 people pitch.
Oh, great.
5 people, because those 5 people anyway will get something as well, and then we will then hand over the baton to Kagan. So he's not going to do it today. He's going to go through it, brood over it, sleep over it, and then he's going to, in the coming days, announce 2 people.
Yeah, putting me in trouble,
Yeah,
My
he's going to announce 2 people.
comment section, my emails.
We will announce
Oh God.
2 people who are going to be recipients of a Core i3 laptop, 8 gig, 512 SSD. So a good laptop. I mean, for an entry level, it's not entry level. I mean, it can do a lot of things actually. For the guys who want to use it, and then aside that, you would also be part of these community, what we call the Single Click Academy. So we'll take you through some mandatory courses so that you begin to build the basics for a tech career. Okay, cool. So I'll invite these people. I think my team has been working very hard behind the scenes, and then you will get your 1-minute elevator pitch, 1-minute moment of fame, and then Kagan obviously will take notes. All right. But truth is, once you call, you're obviously already a winner. And then we do this every month, all right? So last month we gave out 2 laptops. It was a Women Month. In any case, more men participated this time, so the data is really skewed, but obviously it's up to Kagan. And he's going to be listening intently. All right, those who've won laptops, so that you guys know that it's not fake, please just in the comment section, just say hello, I won a laptop. All right, cool. So we're going to have Mobolade Dada on. All right, cool. So I mean, it's guys, just again to give you a bit of background, 5 people have pitched, because these 5 people are going to get 1 month data free. All of you guys, and it's really a lot of gigabytes. I wish we could control how you use it, but we really would love that you use it to develop yourself in tech and to do stuff that will add to whatever you do. Take some certifications, do some stuff, and try to make a difference, right? But for that, we give out, you could call that a giveaway, all right? Now, there's still about 10 people, and Kagan has the onus. He's going to get all of your pitch down to the details, everything you wrote, and then he's going to take a little bit of what you guys have said, reconcile it with the things that you guys wrote in your pitch form, and then he's going to choose 2 lucky people who will then begin their tech journey and tech endeavor with us. He will take his time. I promise it's not going to be more than 1 week. And then when he's done, we'll both announce it on both our pages, and then hopefully we can celebrate with these people who have won and who have been. I don't like to use the word gifted, but who have been chosen, to have these devices. Okay.
Rich
So that's
people
how
don't like to show off, so it makes sense that you don't like the word.
Oh, I mean, I would ask a rich person when I see him. Or her, by the way. Okay. Now you need to go off on that day call. I can now see you. Now
Can you
that
imagine?
you're
So we couldn't see you since.
We can't see your face.
Now you are
to
accosting us with your face.
All right, cool. So it's been absolutely amazing. I always like to give I mean, our esteemed guests. I mean, it's such a pleasure. I know a lot of stuff that he's doing on a day-to-day basis, and he's a very busy man, but he chose to take time out to come and join us. Small community.
I don't know why he's whining me.
I say I'm whining.
Okay.
It's I'm whining him. Look at that. Allow me now. I'm trying to give you a speech, man. What's the Gen Z word for this now? You kill him at Reese, man. Come on. All right, cool. So, but he chose to join us, and we're so happy, grateful. So many things learned. And again, we like to keep the video so that people can see it and learn and rewind, rehash, and then learn some stuff. But thank you for coming. He'll have the last word, something that he wants you guys never to forget, to take away in this session. And then I'll just do a bit of a wrap up. Okay?
Okay.
Cool. This is my heart.
Something I want you guys to never forget. Something I want you to never forget. Let me see. Okay, great. There's no such thing as luck. There is no such thing as an algorithm, okay? Whatever happens to you is basically your preparedness meeting an opportunity. So if you stay prepared, you're always working on yourself, improving your skills, getting better, one day you're going to get that opportunity. And because you were more prepared than the next person, you're the one who is going to take advantage of that opportunity. So don't let anybody lie to you that there's an algorithm that hates you. That's why your content is not getting views. Don't let anybody tell you that, oh, this is rigged and the barrier of entry is too high and you can never make it in that industry. Do what you love, work hard, continue to try. Eventually, one day, it took me more than 7 years. It might take you longer, it might take you less, but when it eventually happens for you, then nobody is stopping you.
Fantastic. Thank you. I learned this last session, so I'm obsessed with this, right? By the way, just so you know.
I don't even like, I don't, yeah, I got it.
Hey, you got it.
This is the one that
Finally.
I do a lot because it
Yeah, I
signals.
know. Yeah,
Yeah.
it signals. Yeah, thank you. So guys, for those who've been called, the five of you guys, please DM me, and then the team will take your details and you get your data, and then obviously we'll go ahead and announce who the winners are. We'll do it in collaboration with Kagan style, okay? By the
You
way.
should actually post this video as a collaboration as well so that everyone can see it from my
Fantastic,
page.
fantastic.
Yeah.
So I'll do that. I'll do that as well. Okay, so cool. Thank you as well to Kagan's team. They are not faceless. They are just hard workers. My team as well. And they're behind the scenes vetting. Oh my goodness, you need to see the way they vet these profiles on on social media to be sure that we're not doing ghost workers, and how they check everything to be sure that it's right. So thank you to Joe. Thanks to Chibuzo and Jonah. Thanks to Shuki. Thanks to Fabi. Fabi is actually the director of this entire thing. Thank you so much. It's a pleasure. Kagan, obviously, we'll connect. Apparently, I have to come to Ondo. Sorry. To pay homage to the Are on Okakamfo.
Okay. Okay.
But then when you're in Lagos, obviously, we'll connect. So it's been a pleasure. Thank you
Yes,
guys
definitely.
for the time.
Definitely.
You guys have spent almost 2 hours with us. We don't take that for granted, especially in these hard times. Thank you, and let's connect. Okay?
All right.
Kagan, thanks a lot. Appreciate my brother.
Yeah.
All right, guys.
Cheers.
Take care. Cheers. Bye.